Hi all, let us look at Scrum events in this video. There are 5 Scrum events as prescribed by scrum.org. They are Sprint, Sprint Planning, Daily Scrum, Sprint Review and Sprint Retrospective. Each event in Scrum is a formal opportunity to inspect and adapt Scrum artifacts. Events used in Scrum creates regularity and enables transparency. All the Scrum events are held at the same place and time to reduce complexity. Failure to operate any event as prescribed would lead to lost opportunity to inspect and adapt. Sprint. Sprint is the container for all other events. Sprint are the heartbeat of Scrum, where ideas are turned into value. They are fixed length events of 1 month or lesser to create consistency. A new sprint starts immediately after the conclusion of the previous sprint. Within sprint, everything happens, like product backlog refinement, sprint planning, daily scrum, sprint review, and sprint retrospective. There are various practices exist to track the progress, like burn down, burn up, cumulative flow, etc. Sprint enable predictability by ensuring inspection and adaptation of progress against the product goal at least every calendar month. Sprint could be cancelled if the sprint goal becomes obsolete. However, product owner has the authority to cancel the sprint. During sprint, no changes made to the sprint goal. However, scope can be altered without disturbing the sprint goal in agreement with the product owner. In sprint, quality is not decreased or compromised. Sprint planning. Sprint planning is the first event during the sprint, and it lays out the work to be performed for the sprint. Sprint planning is a time box to maximum of 8 hours for 1 month sprint. For shorter sprint, the event is usually shorter. Purpose of this event is to agree on the sprint goal and define the sprint backlog. In this event, Scrum team participate along with the other people who were needed for advice. Product owner ensures attendees are prepared to discuss the most important product backlog item and how they can link to product goal. Sprint planning focuses on 3 topics. 1. Why is the sprint valuable? To answer this, it would be the sprint goal. The Scrum team collaborate and define the sprint goal. 2. What can be done this sprint? The answer to this would be the selected items from the product backlog to include in the current sprint. Number 3. How will the chosen work get done? For the selected product backlog item, the developers define a plan to create an increment that meets the definition of done. No one else tells the developer how to turn the product backlog item into an increment. Outcome of the sprint planning would be the sprint backlog, which contains the sprint goal, product backlog items selected for the sprint, and the plan to deliver them. Next, daily scrum. Daily scrum focuses on the progress towards the sprint goal and produces an actionable plan for the next day of work. Daily Scrum event is 15 minutes for the developers of the Scrum team. Scrum Master is not mandatory to attend the daily Scrum, but he or she should ensure the daily Scrum happens. Developers can select whatever structure and the technique they want as long as their daily Scrum focuses on the progress towards the sprint goal and produces any actionable plan for next day of work. Daily Scrum usually happens at the same time and place to reduce complexity. Sprint Review. In Sprint Review, Scrum team and stakeholder review what was accomplished in the sprint and what has changed in their environment. Sprint Review is a working session, hence Scrum team should present the working software rather than a presentation. Sprint Review is time boxed to a maximum of 4 hours for a 1 month sprint. For shorter sprint, the event is usually shorter. Purpose of the sprint review event is to inspect the outcome of the sprint and determine the future adaptation. Product backlog may also be adjusted to meet the new opportunities as a result of sprint review event. Sprint retrospective. Sprint retrospective is to inspect the last sprint with regards to the individuals, interactions, process, tools and definition of done. Purpose of this event is to plan ways to increase the quality and effectiveness. The most impactful improvements are addressed as soon as possible. They may even be added to the sprint backlog for the next sprint. Scrum team participate in sprint retrospective event, and it is time boxed to maximum of 3 hours for a 1 month sprint. For shorter sprint, the event is usually shorter. This slide here gives you the overview of all the 5 Scrum events with respect to time box, participants and their outcome in conjunction with our discussion so far. With this, we will end this video. Thank you.